Hi everyone, this is Stephanie, teacher at TAFE NSW Campbelltown. This session is particularly to the unit COA PHI 511. It is for the unit that is called Make Illustrative Photo Images for Publication and Display. The purpose of this video tutorial is for creating illustrative photography into Photoshop. So I'll just get the folder ready and just describe to you what's in this folder. So before I begin, I'd just like to say that we respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country on which we learn and work together. We also commit to building relationships, respect and opportunities with Aboriginal people. So welcome aboard, here we go. Let's open up this little folder here. It says sample, jasmine bone and butterfly, so I'll just double click into that. So this is a little sample that I've put together. It's going to resolve something in fonts. Now you're all going to have font problems, so don't worry too much. I'm going to not resolve that. Here is that warning sign for the font. So as you can see, this is a Photoshop file. So what I'm going to do in the next few minutes is describe the information tool, the menus, the toolbox, the panels, everything. What I want to do though is just to reset everything so we're all on the right track. So if I can get you all to go to Window, Workspace, and Reset Essentials. So this will sort of make everything a default. So there we have it. Is the Layers palette, and you can normally move layers around by clicking on the little tag, the little panels, and just move them across. I just do this because it just gives me more real estate. You probably just notice also by habit to have, instead of one line of Photoshop tools, I have two. So there we go, have nice two rows here, two columns. So the panels we're going to need for this exercise is the Layers panel, but I also want you to open up the Windows history. There we have it, Window history. That's if you make a mistake. You can go back a couple of steps. What we're actually doing is constructive or deconstructive layers. So we're going to be quite limited. That will start to fill up with every action that we do. The next panel I want you to have a look at is the Swatch panel. So if you go to Window, Swatch, this is I probably will be using that next time, but I just want to show you that you can click on the little tags on the top and move them around. Everything else, not interested in. Now if you notice in the foreground, there's a foreground and back cover in the actual toolbox. They can be used in filters, instances, or general fill items, or anything that you need to sort of colour in, and you can change it. We call this a picker, so you can actually change it at any time. So if you go in there and change the colour, you just got to be careful because a lot of the colours that you use that are too saturated will turn out with a warning sign, which means you can't really print it. It looks good on the screen, but it's very difficult to print. And I think that's the major challenge of photographers, is not printing what I see. So to avoid this situation, you can just click on it and it takes you back to the closest colour. So I'll press OK. What I do want you to notice is the actual information bar that's up here on the top, just where my mouse is, just there. That information bar serves as a purpose. It's sort of the place we all look at all the time. That information bar, I'll just click on a few things, will change according to every tool that I use. So you can see here, here's the brush tool. This is how you change the brush. Yep. This is how you would create a new brush, and so on. So the little clogs acts as an extra to what's in the information up here and also on the sides there. So there's always lots of options, and I guess that's why Photoshop looks so complicated. It is because there's so many things to do that one thing, so many areas to reach. So what were we talking about? Yes, we were talking about the foreground colour and the background colour. So you can actually change to colours as you need them, and there you have, you've got the green and the red. Just clicking on the green. Oh, another warning sign, bring it back, press OK. Okay, so we've got the layers panel. Yeah, I'm just going to move it straight here. I'm going to show you a few things that you can extend the panels so you can see a lot more. As you saw, I did that with the history. Might even just glue that up on top. It goes in like a magnet and pull it down. And you can see that there are a few layers here and that there has been a lot of work. Well, not really a lot of work, but there has been some organization, layer creation happening as well. So in the layers we have something that's called hide and show. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of swatches. I'm going to hide layers, hide areas, and then show them. Easy. But more so of what's happening around the bottom. So you've got things like throwing things in the rubbish, and obviously not. New pages, new layers, new folders for the layers, some layer adjustments, the masking tool, which we'll have a look at later, and the layer style tool. Okay, that's ultimately important as well for what we're doing. What I do want to show you though, we'll go back to the information bar on the top, is the move tool. The move tool has a vital part in Photoshop. As you know, it does move. Oh, it's not moving now, and there's a reason for it. Now, to fix that, I can press Command Z and it goes back. Okay, so the move tool, at the moment you have to press on something to move something. So what I want to do is actually do something else, which is I want to click on it and then move it. So I want that butterfly to move that word there, but that's not going to happen because that is selected. So that becomes a bit of a bother. The best way to attack selections is obviously with your move tool, but have up here where it says auto select, have that turned on. Instead of the group, which you can create groups and folders in here, I want it to select layer. And I do want to show the transform tools because I'll just click in there. See how it's all moving? So that's working quite well. So on the layers you can see wherever I click it will actually go to that layer. So I now no longer need the dependencies of selecting these layers here. So I'm clicking there, it's all working. What I do want to show in my move information area up the top there is the transform tools, and this is important again because there is a fair bit of scaling that goes on. I'm just going to move that there, in there, and in there. So you can actually scale things up and down. I'm just going to scale this with my shift key on to show you that that's a scaling tool. So really we're ready to go. We've got the setup happening. It's all working really well. We're happy to now look at typography and move on to the next session. So good luck with your workspace. This is how I do mine, and yeah, move forward.